Ladies, I'm Megan Speakman and you're watching Female and Fabulous. Now, being a foreign woman here in Pattaya, it can be quite difficult to make new friends and adapt to the local culture. So I'd like to take this opportunity to showcase other foreign ladies living here in Pattaya, and today I have a very special guest, Diana from the USA, who is a popular yoga teacher here in Pattaya, and today we are here at Horizon Rooftop Bar and Restaurant to enjoy some bubbles and oysters. Yummy! Diana, welcome to Female and Fabulous.
Thank you, Megan. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to talk with you, and it's very nice to meet you. It's the very first time that I've met you. So you're a yoga teacher here in Pattaya.
I am. I work for Tony's Fitness. I lead his yoga program at several of his studios, from Pradamnak to Wangamat to Soy Bukaw, and then the main gym at Third Road in Pattaya Town.
Right.
And I love it.
So how long have you been
I've been practicing yoga for almost 19 years, and I've been involved in teaching for a few years now. My primary function with yoga is that I've always come from the sales and marketing with many yoga studios. I've been a consultant, and I've been certified. I have the first yoga school here in Pattaya now. So I'll be doing my yoga teacher training program through Tony's. Very exciting.
Yes.
So I've devoted most of my adult life to doing yoga, selling yoga, and teaching yoga.
Okay, so we'll talk a little bit more about yoga later. But first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area originally. I was born in Oakland, California, which is 10 miles due north of San Francisco, right over the Bay Bridge. And I was raised in the San Francisco Bay Area and moved at an early age, right after high school actually, to Salt Lake City, where I went to partial college. Came back, I got immediately into sales. My whole life has been sales. And actually graduated UC Irvine down in Los Angeles, California when I was 42. Late bloomer, yeah, got my business degree.
Wow.
And my ex-husband was kind of a big shot in the television world, and we traveled extensively all over the world. When we honeymooned, we came here to Pattaya.
Wow.
And that's how I know Pattaya, is we came here in 1988.
That's how it all started.
That's how it all started.
1988.
The last century. Yeah.
That is the
century.
year that I was born.
Time flies.
Right.
And you know, when I came here, the interesting thing is you could get a massage and a manicure and a pedicure on the beach at Jomtien or at Pattaya Beach for 25 baht, and it was 2 hours.
If only it was still that nice.
But the problem was your nails, your hands and your feet were always filled with sand, but you didn't say anything.
Yeah.
It was just so nice, so you went back, but you had to take it off right away.
Yeah.
So many years I came to Thailand in a row. During that time, actually maybe 6 or 7 years later, I left my husband. We had moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, but I kept coming to Thailand. And we actually bought a home in Krabi in 2003. And when the tsunami hit, the home was damaged and washed away.
So you were actually there in Krabi during...
I wasn't there. He was. He was actually here in Pattaya, and he couldn't get down there. And most of my friends, who are beautiful Muslim women from Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, gone. So I told myself, I will never go to Thailand again. It was very emotional.
Heartbreaking.
If you can imagine, just women I always associated with, but here I am, you know, he and I decided as friends we wanted to retire here, and he said, where do you think we should go? And I said, well, I want to go to Pattaya because I know I can teach yoga for Tony's.
Yes.
That I didn't know. but I
Yes.
just said that.
Yes.
So we came to Pattaya, and here I was, and I was in shock for 2 to 3 months, really. Walking around in a daze, I couldn't believe it. I sold everything I owned, and I just came. And it was just strange. And maybe 3 or so months, I kind of pulled out of it. And I sent Tony an email, and he called me the next day, and there I was. And in the interim of this, I met Mr. Koloff
Yes.
of your paper, and he introduced me to Barry Upton, who was kind enough at that time, maybe in May of last year. He did a wonderful interview. I got to do a radio interview with him
I
in
saw
yoga,
that you went on the radio
which
show.
was awesome.
Yeah.
And my life has just evolved here, and I love it here. I love being here. I've met so many people from all walks of life here. It's just been, I just think I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm very single, but I have so many more things in my life that, you know, fill it up. So that's kind of
Especially
how I
in
got-
Pattaya, there's always something exciting happening.
Always something exciting.
Yeah, there's always a buzz
Yeah.
here in Pattaya,
Yeah.
and you've got your yoga to keep
Yeah.
you busy. So you first came here in 1988.
1988.
To Pattaya, so you must have seen a lot of differences to
I
the
was
city.
32 when I came here. The biggest thing I remember was there was Thai boxing on the beach, what is now the end of Walking Street. There really wasn't a walking street here. And my ex-husband and I had stayed in this motel, the right spot. And I was just there because I was checking out some of the nightclub scene that Tony has. And I ran into this motel, and I just stopped and I laughed. They're refurbishing the whole thing. So there was Thai boxing on the beach. And they used to put a mongoose in with the cobra. I didn't like that
Yeah.
part. I haven't seen that for a long time. But that's what it was. It was kind of sleepy, but it was even a buzz then. But way more beach. Way more
Yes.
beach. So what is now Pattaya Beach, and that they still had the little chairs, and all of the guys would come, but you didn't have to pay them.
Oh, you didn't?
No, there was no paying. You just went there, but there was less tourists.
Yes,
Way more local.
yes.
It's interesting, and now but this is such an international destination,
It
and
must-
the weather is.
It is. It's
We're
so much
spoiled.
better than Western countries.
Yes.
We have gorgeous weather every day of the year,
Yes.
except for today, because there's a huge storm today. But it's always nice to have a little bit of rain.
That's right, and it
after
keeps
the heat.
and it cools it off.
Yes,
a little bit.
yes.
Yeah.
Apart from it ruining our hair.
Yeah, I'm over that. This coming over today, it rained, but this is like coming out of yoga class. It just does this and
Yes.
doesn't, so I'm kind of used to it.
But this hot weather is so much better than
It's-
the cold weather any day.
If I went back to the San Francisco Bay, I'd freeze.
Yes,
I would.
same in
I've
Blackpool.
forgotten all of that. You know,
Yes.
it's shorts and flip flops forever.
Yes.
I love it.
Well, the oysters have arrived, so let's dig in. Would you like one?
Thank you. Yes.
They look absolutely yummy, and we have
yummy.
bubbles to go with them.
Look at
Champagne.
that.
So, Diana, I'd like to know a little bit more about the yoga. How did you get into the yoga?
It was crazy. I was living in Santa Barbara at the time, and I was a runner. I've always been a cross-training athlete, so I ran maybe 10 to 13 miles every day for years in my 20 to 45. And my toenails fell out from both of my feet. They fell out.
Completely fell off?
Completely. And it would take 1 to 2 years for them to start to grow back. Because a runner, when you run, you pound your nail beds against the tips of your shoes. I don't know about other long distance runners, but that's what happened to me. So I went to a podiatrist and I said, why am I losing my toenails? He said, are you a runner?
Yes.
And I said, well, yes, I am. And he said, if you run one more time, they will never come back. I went to him and I brought him my big toenail. I said, it just came out again. That's how it started.
That sounds like a nightmare.
It was crazy.
Was it painful?
No,
Oh.
what would happen is my nail would just turn purple and then it would just pop off.
I've never heard of that
Music
in my
on
life
toenails.
before.
Yeah, it was crazy. So My doggy sitter was just really fit, and I said, well, what do you do to stay fit? And she said, have you heard of that Bikram yoga, Bikram hot yoga? And I said, no, what is it? And she says, well, you go into a room, it's 105 degrees, they shut the doors, and it's 40% humidity.
Yes.
And she said, if you try yoga, you'll never run again. So me, being type A, I went that day to a Bikram yoga, and I could not do the class, and I was in shape. 90 minutes. I couldn't do the yoga. I couldn't stand on my toes. I just wanted to get out of there. It was horrific, and you have to act like...
So it wasn't a good experience?
It was a good experience, but it was so hard. And once you're in the room, they shut the doors. You can't leave it. You don't want to lose face. So I remember saying to the yoga teacher, Jessica, in one pose, I said, I can't. She goes, no can do is not in our vocabulary.
Yes.
And I said, I won't. And she gave me a look. So I crocheted her a blanket later on, and we became friends. But that's how I got into it. I couldn't come back the next day. I was in bed, I was sore, my muscles ached, but I went back the following day. And it'll be 19 years in August.
19 years.
19 years, and I asked that studio director in Santa Barbara, can I help you market? I had leather cutouts of pictures from Thailand, elephants. I said, can I decorate the studio? I decorated it all Thai. And that's how I started coming into yoga and talking to people. And before I knew it, I was marketing with Bikram Studios all over, and joined Bikram Studios in Las Vegas and started with a studio that I was the marketing director for and the director of sales. And on went my journey. And I just developed from one aspect of Bikram yoga to the other. And I ended up managing 3 of his senior teachers globally. And I then joined a man who I became certified to teach in the latter part of the 2000s, 2010. And I started managing all of his yoga teacher trainings. So I've had a tremendous amount of experience. And many, many people asked me to become a teacher, even Bikram himself, and I said, I'm not interested. And it was just interesting managing one of his trainings that I also became certified to teach. And I've never looked back. I'm now on the opposite side.
Yes.
It's fabulous. So now, not being with people and changing with them, I'm instructing people and watching them change before my very eyes. It's fabulous. Now I can't imagine doing anything else. So I'm very, very dedicated and involved.
And now you're here in Pattaya teaching the thing that you love. And like I said a little earlier, I've never tried yoga in my life before. I don't know anything about yoga, to be honest. So what would you say are the benefits of yoga?
The yoga I teach is Hatha yoga. It means sun moon, and there's a medical benefit to every posture that we do. My classes are beginning, and really, to simply put it, the object of pulling is stretching. Yoga is stretching, but in various postures. So you do some that are really fun, and you do others that are different. And everybody has their favorite postures, and some people have postures they don't like, but they all have benefits. If anybody who has neck pain, back pain, knee pain, ankle pain, low back pain, if you're tight, if you would like to have a workout but you don't have a lot of time, if you want to do something different, if you want to meet a lot of fun people, come to a yoga class.
So how is it being a single woman living here in Pattaya?
I turned 58 in May, so it's interesting. I didn't come to Pattaya with anything in mind. And when I started with Tony, which is almost a year, so many classes during the week, I would go home in the evenings, and I still work evenings. The most interesting thing is how many older phalangs there are with younger Thai women.
Yes.
And I can't compete with that, and I don't want to. I keep thinking my Mr. Right is going to walk into my yoga class. But I get out, I go to venues. Of course, as you know, I've seen you at some of the venues.
Yes.
And you have to put yourself out there to gain exposure, and I'm kind of starting to do that. If I was 24, I would have a completely different answer, or even 34. But I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic. I've developed great friendships here, so being single to me means doing things unattached, which I love. And if you know of anybody,
Oh, well.
if you can refer anybody, I'm always open
Well, this is
to
going
meeting
out
new
on
men.
TV, so
I had to throw that. I'm very gentle and nice. So,
well, Diana, I'd like to give you a big thank you for coming on to our show today. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you and getting to know you. So, should we have a toast to
Sure.
you and to being female and fabulous? Cheers.
cheers.